GoPro! You're starting to slack there a little bit. That wasn't going to work. John Wooden once said, do not. Look, we all can't do everything. That's just the way life is. But Wooden put it in a great perspective. That legendary collegiate basketball coach for UCLA, John Wooden once said, do not let that which you cannot do interfere with that you can do. And the philosopher Lao Tzu once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Congratulations on having taken that step. It is a privilege to bring to the stage someone who has mentored at GoPro Recruiting Mastery before. She is someone who definitely took the first step. Over 33 years ago, single mom, a swimming coach, no college degree, barely scraping by. Someone talked to her about this thing called network marketing. Was not an instant success. Didn't understand it, like so many, still had the struggles, the challenges, the disappointments again and again. But when you talk with her, she said, I just felt there was something in my heart that said, this is right. And if I'll just keep going, I know that this can work. Well, let's kind of cut to the end. Today, or 33 years later, she's built an organization and a company that she's been with for so long. It's one of the largest organizations in the world. In fact, in her company, there are over 1,000 members and leadership folks within her team who have earned their company's iconic white Mercedes. She has hundreds of people in her team who are 6- and 7-figure earners. She's now gone on to be an author. Of course, she's been a 7-figure earner for years and years and years. But she's also very passionate about mentoring and giving back. She's also a philanthropist. In fact, she's here with her husband, Thomas, who's also been part of the GoPro mentoring stage many times. And they support Streams of Mercy orphanages. They personally support all the expenses for 2 in India, 2 in Africa, and 1 in Jamaica. In fact, I got a chance to meet Thomas a couple years ago. And the story of how they met actually is really very funny. Thomas is actually a top earner in a Swedish company. That's why he's been on the GoPro stage and a 7-figure earner, and a great story of his own. And his company was doing a retreat in Dubai, and they just reached out and asked Donna, because she's such a great mentor and coach, if she'd just come teach. And if you've ever heard the story about love at first sight, they knew of each other, but it was like they both said it was instant. She walks into the room, he sees her, she sees him, fall in love instantly. Been together for 6 years, and so Thomas is here to cheer her on. I will guarantee you this is going to be a magnificent experience. She has a heart, as big as it gets. Ladies and gentlemen, please get to your feet, bring to the GoPro stage, Miss Donna Johnson!
Oh my goodness, we're growing, Eric and Marina. Don't you love it? Congratulations on being here. It says a lot about you. I'm so thrilled. I'm going on my 40th year in this profession. Yes, I started as a teenager. Oh, dark 100 pre-computers. Last week, we were celebrating Thanksgiving, and we had the children and the grandchildren. And I looked at Thomas, and I said, I don't know what I'm wearing on stage. So he found these shoes. Okay, got to check out the shoes. I need a camera. And so then we found a dress for the shoes. Part of our culture and fun in my business, we've got several hundred here of my leaders all over. Where are you? We love shoes, but my favorite shoe experience was being in India in one of our orphanages. And we were able to take a whole busload of kids at our orphanage over to shop for shoes. They had never been in a store. And you should have seen these kids getting their first pair of shoes. So we have a culture for shoes, but we also have a culture that gives back. And I think really that's what it's all about. Do you guys agree? What we saw last night, what we saw last year from Jordan, amazing. So I'm going to cover a couple things in my few minutes together. The first part of my training, I'm just going to talk about a new normal, right? And there's so much happening in our profession. So much has stayed the same. So much has changed the decades that I have been around. And we really are on the verge, like Eric said last night, of great things happening. And it's exciting. This is a sphere of influence that we have globally in the world. Network marketing is a mountain. It's a big mountain that we can take. Do you guys agree? We can take this globally and affect our world. And it has a lot to do with, the way we do business, the way we show up. And it is about mindset and skill, but it's also about intention. What is your intention? If you want to build a sustainable business that lasts for decades that you pass on, how many of you want to do that? Then we got to do the right thing in the right way for the right reason. So I'm going to talk about how to implement that. And then the second part, I'm going to actually give you some skills to really knead this in deep in the roots of your culture and your business so that when the winds of change come, you stay strong, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I just want to share, just a few weeks ago, Thomas and I were able to go to Bora Bora with Eric and Marina and several leaders in the profession. And, when you spend 10 days with someone and you swim with the sharks with your friends, you really learn a lot about people, don't you? And I just have to say that Eric and Marina, they are the real deal. The real deal. Big heart, big passion, and big vision for this profession. And I think all of you here are an example of that. So let's thank Eric and Marina for just an amazing. So one of my favorite Disney movies is Lion King. And if you want to have a business that lasts for generations, just like Mufasa taught Simba, generations of Lion Kings, didn't he? And, and us Lion Queens, right? Our 75% here, ladies. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Rafiki is with Simba. Do you remember this? And he hits him over the head, and Simba says, "Hey, what'd you do that for?" And then he went to hit him again, and what did Simba do? He ducked. So the moral is, you know what? The past, the change is good. The past can hurt, but you can either run from it or you can learn from it. So learn from accelerated wisdom. All these seven-figure earners, all of the trainers and Eric, let our hindsight be your foresight. So embracing a new normal. What does that mean? There's change in the air, and change is good, isn't it? The thing that we don't want to do is circle the wagons and shoot each other, right? We don't need to approach or solicit other people in the profession. Richard Brooke, will you stand up and show off your T-shirt? How many of you have seen MLM Man, Richard Brooke? He does a great shtick where he interviews people. And most people have not heard of our profession. So there's so many people out there, you guys. It's a really, really big world. So how can we raise the integrity of our profession? It starts with all of you. If we walk out of this event on a new height, high tides raise all ships. I know that you're proud, and I'm proud. I always say I'm completely unemployable. Are you? Are you completely unemployable? Get proud of that. We have a farm-to-table concept. We don't need brick and mortar. Network marketing, to me, is the perfect niche between online shopping and retail stores. Do you agree? So let's own it. Let's embrace it and be proud and create that new normal. Just like every industry, we have regulators, we have exposés, consumer watchdogs, we have attorney generals, we even have MTV. When a fellow leader or a company gets exposed for something, what do? Do we say, "Oh, that's company ABC, that's not me, that's not us, we're good"? If your hand is injured, do you cut off your arm? We really need to protect and embrace each other as a profession. and cheer each other on and lock arms. Do you agree? We live in a fishbowl, don't we? Especially with social media. And I want you all to pretend that when you're doing your business, whether it's a phone call or a one-on-one, a group presentation, or even being on stage for something, I want you to pretend that there's a hidden camera on you, okay? Wouldn't that be interesting? And what if what you say actually ends up on national news or on the front page of a newspaper or an expose? So we can tell the truth, you guys. Speak the truth in love. Sometimes we speak the truth, but not kindly. Sometimes we are nice, but we don't speak the truth. Get them together. Speak the truth in love. We don't need to hype. The truth is enough. Is this profession amazing on its own? Do we need to hype it? You do? I love one of the quotes from my husband, Thomas. He always says, "Nothing is easy, but who wants nothing?" Right? Nothing is easy, but who wants nothing? You guys want something big. I have there in the legs of my organization, I have 2 leaders that they're both here, by the way. You're going to hear one of them tomorrow night, Rita Davenport. I'm so excited that you guys, she's a bonus trainer. I don't know if you guys heard, she's not in the program, but you are in for a real treat tomorrow night. 2 of my legs in my business generate over $20 million in volume per month. Is that amazing? And one of Rita Davenport's favorite quotes that I love, she says, "You know what? If it's easy, it's sleazy." So you're going to hear a lot more from her tomorrow night. And you're going to have some fun and you're going to laugh, so get ready. So be honest with your presentation and your approach, okay? It's more attractive. You will attract more people when you paint an honest picture because that's authentic and they're attracted to that. People know there's no get rich quick. You have to work for what you want. Let them know about the 4 Ds. They're going to have doubts. They're going to have disappointments. They're going to have distractions. They're going to have dream stealers. So let them know it's going to take time. Don't give up before payday. Because I've been in this business for so many decades, I personally know many, many people that would be millionaires today had they just not quit. So just don't give up before payday. So grab yourself an accountability partner. I'm sure you didn't come here alone, and just talk about these things. How can you improve together? How can you seep this deep in your culture of your team and in your company and eventually our entire profession so that we're saying things like, this is what we do and this is how it works, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take you through some skills. And it's so interesting because Eric shared some of the things that he doesn't like. One of the sayings I don't like is whatever it takes. Have you ever heard that? Like, whatever it takes. What does that mean? You know, if you do things that hurt other people or are out of integrity, it shouldn't be about whatever it takes, right? So you want to do things right and implement these things in your circle of success. I love to keep things simple. My team knows that I just love to keep things simple so that it's easier to duplicate, it's easy to teach, and easy to do. Do you ever wonder, those of us that are 7-figure earners up here, do you ever wonder, okay, what did they do to get here? You know, how did they brand themselves? Of course, that's important. How many books did they have to write? And it doesn't matter what your reach out method is, usually a combination of many, right? One-on-ones, groups, internet. We really do the same thing over and over again. We just do it with more people. I grew up in Wisconsin. Yes, I am a cheesehead. Do you guys like to make snowmen? It starts with a ball, you pack it, and you roll it, right? And it just gets bigger and bigger. That's what happens with this circle of success. It starts with you, and then you add more people. So if you do it with just a couple other people, you and a couple other people, you're probably at the entry level of your compensation plan. You do it with a couple more people, you probably have what we call a comma check, okay? Do it with a few more, 10 more, 20 more. You're starting to get to the top level of your business. You start to do this with hundreds and thousands of people. You're you're in the seven-figure earner. So keep it simple, keep it fun, and just do the same things over and over and duplicate those things. So what are those things? Starts with a name list. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is they think that the name list is only for the beginning of your business. How many of you do that when you're launching somebody, right, and you talk about the name list? One of the things that I teach is have two different name lists. One local for people that are close to you, driving distance that you can meet with in person, and the other long distance for people that can Skype in or Zoom in, that you can reach through technology, okay? Here's the thing, are you keeping that name list current? Are you wearing it out? Are you adding people to that name list every day? You're meeting people all the time, right? So keep that name list current. And don't prejudge. You know, there's going to be people on your chicken list. When I met Rita Davenport, she's a famous author and speaker. I didn't prejudge that she would not love this business. Some people will just be a great connector for you. So add people to your name list at all the time. And then, of course, you can make a name list, but you have to reach out and prospect, right? So how do you prospect? Be authentic. Don't be sales pitchy. Approach people the way that you want to be approached. And I'll tell you, someone who has some really great verbiage, of course, everything that Eric Worre does, I so agree with. But our friend Todd Falcone just launched a new book, Fearless Networking. Such great content in there. You guys, anyone read it yet? It's brand new. But you will learn so much from these masters that just teach you the simple, really common sense things, right? You know, how do you want to be approached? When you're talking to someone, you know, it's kind of like dating. I don't date anymore. I'm happily married. When you're dating, you know, when you're approaching people, do they lean in to listen or are they pulling back, right? Do you ever get that feeling? So I actually like to lead with both the product and the business because you never know. You don't want to prejudge. The business isn't for everyone. And we're in a new world. We want to have a lot of happy customers in our business, right? Along with people who want to earn an income. So that's what I'll say oftentimes. If you're interested in adding another income stream, take a look at our business. But if you're not interested in making money, we have an amazing product that you would love as a customer. So then always make sure to schedule, okay? So you can prospect, but then ask for the appointment. Get your ask in gear. Ask for a take a look. Ask to invite them to something. And then present. How do you present? You guys, keep it fun and simple. That is so important. Have you ever watched somebody start a presentation and you wondered, gosh, I wonder how long they're going to talk, right? So I like to tell people how long I'm going to share, and they're really, really surprised. So your one-on-ones, you want to keep very simple. You want to listen. You know, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth to use in that proportion. And our group presentations, they should really not go more than 25, 30 minutes. People have a very short attention span, don't they? And when you keep your presentation fun, simple, informative, and you connect, you build relationships, right? You're making friends. Then you're going to close. I was coaching someone one time, and she was telling me that she was doing all the right things, but nobody was buying, nobody was signing up, no one was interested. And I said, okay, walk me through. And what I discovered is at the end of her presentation, she just thanked everyone, and she was done. So you guys, close. This is your job. Ask people, you know, where do you see yourself? Tell me what intrigued you, okay? And find the fit. And then launch people. I am so passionate about this. This business is very easy to start, so it's easy to stop. So you're in business for yourself, but you're not alone. It's kind of like, how many of you have taught a child how to ride a bike? Okay, we don't ride the bike for them, right? And we don't say, here's the bike, go figure it out. What do? We help them get on the bike, we hold the seat, we run alongside them, not in these shoes, and we help them get their balance. And that's what we do in this business when we launch people. I like to share that sometimes people are a rising star that stick with it, and grow in success. And then there's shooting stars, people who flame out and go into what we call the witness protection program, right? And it doesn't matter, you can create the business plan that's perfect for them, whether they want to walk, jog, or run. And then, of course, duplicate this. You're going to launch people, and then you're going to duplicate this over and over and over. And you're going to build this deep into your culture as you grow leaders. And that's a whole nother training, growing leaders, developing a partnership of edification. There are leaders in my business here that could be on the main stage. I'm very humbled to serve and represent them and the profession. And I truly believe that my goal is always to have trust and respect based on the culture and not on my title or position. Do you guys agree with that? So trust the process, protect your focus, follow the system. That movie, how many of you saw the movie Scully? When he was learning how to be a pilot from a crop duster, his instructor said, "Son, you're going to make mistakes, but just learn from them. And whatever you do, always fly the plane." It's very similar to Finding Nemo, isn't it? What did Dory say? Keep on swimming. And what do you need to do as network marketers when you're distracted? Keep on getting in front of people. So always find the plane. So get with an accountability partner that's here with you and assess where you're at on each of these skills on a scale of 1 to 10. Because if your business is like a pipeline, you want to have the water flowing through. And if there's a leak in your pipeline, you want to fix that so you can get really effective. So I just want to close with another leader in my organization who has affected over 20 million volume per month. She's here, Phoebe Fournier. Where are you? Stand up, Phoebe. She's here. And she taught me something many years ago that I want to teach you. It's called the spirit of intent. So everyone take your hand. I'm going to put my clicker down. And go like this, okay? And then take your other hand and go like this. Did you see me doing this earlier? Spirit of intent? Okay, this is our check. This is our check for are we coming from ego? Are we coming from our higher place? It's a great communication test and partnership test. What is your intent? What is your spirit of intent? Do no harm. Catherine Lutz always says, your words can be balm or bombs. And God is watching, your team is watching. Give them a great show. I believe the heart and fuel of this profession is gratitude. Do you agree? When you hit the ground in the morning, when your feet touch the ground, are you grateful? I am so grateful for this profession. Some of my best friends are from this profession. Jordan Adler, who you just heard, he was the best man at our wedding. I mean, Jalis, the MJ performer, Eric and Marina were at our wedding, and he performed. And I met my husband, as Curtis said, through this profession. And I just wanted Thomas to come on up real quick because, is he here? Yeah, where is he? Come on up, Thomas. There's steps here. Real quick. Oftentimes, thank you. He's responsible for the shoes. Thank you, darling. Okay, I just want to say, oftentimes people will just scratch their head and say, how do two leaders in two different network marketing companies get married and keep their businesses separate? And all we have to say is spirit of intent and...
No, I would say like capital H, capital I, humility and integrity. If you can take that to your heart.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas.
Give her a hand.
Oh, thank you.
Such a beautiful and
Thank you. Thank you. So let's do this. Spirit of intent. Let's go out and be the change we want to see in this profession. Let's provide hearing for the world. Let's feed the world. Let's clothe and put shoes on the world, because with this profession, we can do it. Thank you very much.